We can do it together. Don't worry. To go live.
2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Good morning, Rockwood Rockets. Today is a big day. We're going to stand up, all rise, and we're going to say the flag salute. Hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
United.
Thank you. Please be seated. Good morning. Give us 1 more minute. We're going to go live in about a minute and a half. We're live. Alrighty, here we go. Big day today. I'm going to introduce a few people before we get started. I'd like to start out with Mr. Lorenzo Calderon. He's our board of trustees and a former Rockwood Rocket. We also have our assistant superintendent of educational services, Ms. Elisa Ramirez. We also have our assistant superintendent of human resources, Mr. Carlos Gonzalez. We want to give a big thank you. May you all stand, the Apple Connect Ed crew in the back, please. Let's give them a round of applause. They are going to be here all day helping us. Thank you so much. Here we go. Children, today is one of the biggest days in the history of Rockwood. You are going to be handed a tool, and that tool is going to help you learn and grow. We want you to treat it with respect. We want you to treat it with pride. It's going to be yours. You're going to create things that you never thought you could. Okay? Now, I want to thank you for being here. I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Padilla. Can you give Mr. Padilla a big hand?
Good morning, students. Very glad to be here, very excited to be here. I wanted to share with you, in case we haven't met, I'm the Director of Technology for our school district, and I must tell you that my most favorite tool for learning is the iPad. It is no secret. Everybody at work knows it. So coming over here to work today, knowing that we're here to do the student rollout for every student to have an iPad in this school, I gotta tell you, this is how I felt this morning. I'm ready to rock it, and I know so are you. So I'm so excited. I know you're just as excited as me, and we got a great presentation for you this morning. And then after that, we got a full day full of activities and lessons to work on your iPad. Your teachers have done a tremendous job getting ready for this day and preparing those activities. Let's give a big round of applause to your teachers. Let me start by sharing with you that before the end of last school year, your teachers got together as a group, and they really put a lot of thought, a lot of work into what was going to be their purpose and their mission at Rockwood. In particular, also emphasizing the use of the iPads. They were looking at what dream they wanted to make real for Rockwood. And in doing that, they developed this mission statement, their vision statement, and their school model. But I'm going to simplify this for you. I want to do a quick summary because I think it's important for you to know what we have planned for you, what we have in store for you, what are the goals for our school. First, real simple, school vision, you have it up there. We want to provide students voice, and we want to build character. So if you ask yourself, what do you mean by student voice? And what we mean is we want to specifically target developing our English language of all of our students. We want to provide student choice, not only in what they learn, but in how they demonstrate their mastery of their learning. We want to work on students' communication skills, and we want to provide authentic audiences. When you do work in the classroom, who usually is the one person who sees it?
Teacher.
Your teacher, and we want to change that. We want to make your audience an authentic audience. We want to give you opportunities to present in front of a cafeteria, in front of parents, community members. We want to give you the opportunity to present in front of the board. We want to post your work online on your school website, on the district Facebook page, on the school Facebook page, on the district YouTube. We want you to be thinking that your work is no longer going to be limited to your classroom. The goal, once more, and you'll see in a bit, is one of the goals for Rockwood is respect and pride. And we want you to be very proud of your work. So when you see that fancy word, authentic audience, that's what it means. We want you to always focus on your work being high quality because we really want to show the talents of Rockwood students. When we talk about character, as I just mentioned, we're talking about developing a culture of pride and respect. We absolutely feel very strongly here among the staff here at Rockwood that what's most important, developing a culture of respect among all of us, and at the same time, like I just referenced, that high quality work, being proud of what you do every single day. So when we think about the iPad, and we have this phenomenal tool in the hands of every student and every teacher and every staff member here at Rockwood, when we think about this tool, we think about definitely it's the perfect tool to support these two goals. Perfect tool to help you make presentations that you will practice and deliver them in speeches, like in TED Talks, the opportunity to have that authentic audience, the opportunity to choose how you're going to demonstrate your learning. Is it going to be through a keynote? Is it going to be through iMovie? Is it going to be through a podcast? Perfect tool for developing that student voice goal. Perfect tool to develop a culture of respect and pride. But in addition to that, it's also a perfect tool to develop a culture of collaboration, of critical thinkers, of creativity, and of building community for Rockwood, the Rockwood community. 1 week ago, we created an essay contest here at the school. And for that essay contest, the purpose of it was to select a student leadership team. We're going to have a small group of students that are going to represent Rockwood, and they're just going to go one step ahead of everybody else, learning the best way to utilize technology, the best way to utilize iPads to make a difference for the Rockwood community. And these students yesterday, we selected them for that essay, and we gathered them yesterday. We talked about what they were passionate about, and they have created a video for you. So I'm going to present to you this 1-minute video from the Rockwood Student Leadership Team.
I'm a learner and I'm a leader.
I like music because you can express your feelings.
I want to learn how to play music and show all school teachers the same.
I want to be a researcher. I want to find problems and then solve them.
I want to use iPads to help students in subjects they don't understand. I'm keen to make a difference in Rockwood by tutoring younger students. We will make great videos and help others make them as well. We will use the iPads to make movies that give positive messages. I like to make friends and make them happy. I want iPads so that people have fun and learn about life.
Hi, I'm Rinsawe, and I'm Lucy. Coding is everywhere. Coding is a language everyone should learn how to speak, especially girls. So my goal is to help my school in an awesome way by helping others like you to learn how to code. Hi, I'm Jasmine. And I'm Jennifer. And photography expresses us in many different ways. Photography expresses us by taking pictures of beautiful moments in our lives. We will use photography to make a difference in the lives of others.
I am a learner and I am a leader, and this year I would like to learn to use Keynote to create dynamic presentations for our students teachers, and parents.
Give a big round of applause to the Rockwood Elementary. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Blanca Cota is in 5th grade, so 4th grade. Blanca Cota was one who edited this movie. She did it about 98% by herself. I tried to help her, she was like, screwed me out of the way. So she did about 98% of herself, and I thought she was a 5th grade, but she's a 4th grade. So if you see Blanca, tell Blanca, great job on your video editing, Blanca. I also want to tell you that I think it's super awesome that your principal, Mr. Valenzuela, went on camera. And I heard him say, if you heard him correctly, I heard him say that he was going to learn Keynote, that was his goal for this year, and that he's going to use it to provide dynamic presentations to students, to staff, to parents. I think I even heard the board. I'm not quite sure, but he's like, he made a big commitment everywhere. So a big round of applause to your principal. Let's give him a big round. Up next, I'm going to ask Mr. Gonzalez, Assistant Superintendent for West Unified School District. He's going to read to us a book called The Dot. And then after he reads this great book of creativity, I'm going to have some wonderful announcements for you about this subject, about this topic. Give him a big round of applause.
Well, first of all, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Rockwood Rockets. Good morning. Now, today is a very, very exciting day. There's a lot of energy. We started outside with the drum line, and the reason we start that way is because it's a great day. It's a day of celebration. Now, there's been a lot of work to get to this point, and how lucky that you are. You are the first group that's going to be the recipients of the iPads, and so that in itself is very, very exciting. Now, there's a tremendous work that has gone to getting to this day. We've had great support from our school board. We've had incredible support from all our staff here at Rockwood Elementary School, and obviously, we've had incredible support and guidance from the Apple team as well. So why don't we give all of the different groups that have made that happen a big round of applause. I'm very honored to be here, first of all, and tell you a story. Now, I love stories. Growing up, I heard a lot of stories, and the nice thing about stories is that obviously there's a purpose and a meaning behind it. So I'd like you to pay very close attention to this particular story, because as Mr. Padilla mentioned, it will help roll out and definitely allow us to continue on the next steps. But the message is very powerful. The name of this story is The Dot by Peter H. Reynolds. And we'll follow along here on the screen. Art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty. Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper. Ah, a polar bear in a snowstorm, she said. Very funny, said Vashti. I just can't draw. Her teacher smiled. Just make a mark and see where it takes you. Vashti grabbed a marker and gave the paper a good, strong jab. There. The teacher picked up the paper and studied it carefully. She pushed the paper towards Vashti and quietly said, now sign it. Vashti thought for a moment, well, maybe I can't draw, but I can sign my name. The next week, when Vashti walked into her art class, she was surprised to see what was hanging over her teacher's desk. It was the little dot she had drawn, her dot, all framed in swirly gold. I can make a dot better than that. She opened her never-before-used set of watercolors and set to work. Vashti painted and painted a red dot, a purple dot, a yellow dot, a blue dot. The blue mixed with the yellow, she discovered that she could make a green dot. Vashti kept experimenting lots of little dots in many colors. If I can make little dots, I can make big dots too. Vashti splashed her colors with a bigger brush on bigger paper to make bigger dots. Vashti even made a dot by not making a dot. At the school art show a few weeks later, Vashti's many dots made quite a splash. Vashti noticed a little boy gazing up at her. "You're a really great artist. I wish I could draw," he said. "I bet you can," Vashti said. "Me? Not me. I can't draw. A straight line, even a straight line with a ruler." Vashti smiled. She handed the boy a blank sheet of paper. "Show me." The boy's pencil shook as he drew his line. Vashti stared at the boy's squiggle, and then she said, "Sign it." Now, the importance of this book, as the author has tried to portray, is that one little dot marks the beginning of a journey of surprise and self-discovery. And in this case, the author, Peter Reynolds, he talks about the creative spirit in all of us and in every single one of you. And this is just the beginning of something greater to happen. And so, like I mentioned, there is meaning and a message to every story. So take that to heart, and as you embark on your journey, this new beginning, remember that each and every single one of you can do amazing, great things. Thank you.
About 5-10 minutes ago, I talked to you about authentic audiences. Let me share a little bit more about authentic audiences. And want to make a connection to today. Every activity, every lesson that you work on today with your iPad is going to be related to what I spoke to you at the beginning about your mission, about the mission of the school, about that focus on pride, respect, student voice, and creativity. 1 week from now, across the whole world, if you didn't know this, the book that Mr. Gonzalez just read, The Dot, is really a book that is known worldwide. And next week is the celebration of the International Dot Day. And I'm proud to announce to you that Rockwood Elementary will be participating in International Dot Day. Today, one of the things that you're going to learn how to use is Sketchbook Express. It's going to be a drawing tool. And today you're going to be learning those tools because next week, school-wide, the whole school is going to be working on their dot drawing. And we're going to collect every student's dot drawing and we're going to post it on the school website. We want to show the world your work. So starting very, very next week, you're going to have that opportunity to have that focus about pride in your work. Your work matters. And your work needs to be high quality because you never know who's going to see it. You need to start giving us your very, very best. Does that sound exciting, doing a dot drawing next week? Yeah. If you feel like you're not an artist, don't worry about it. You're gonna find out, just like the book talked to you about. There's an artist in all of us, and so we're look forward to next week's event as we celebrate Dot Day with children across the world. Now, that's what's gonna happen next week. So I'm gonna give you a preview of what's gonna happen next month, because we're not just gonna do one activity and that's it. We're gonna look at many, many different activities to showcase your work to everyone, to the world, and we really want to develop that pride and have that authentic audience and be able to get feedback and make our work even better. So let me now give you a preview into next month, and it's going to be with the theme of the book called Ish, also a book by Peter Reynolds. Here we go. Ramon loved to draw. Anytime, anything, and anywhere. One day, Ramon was drawing a vase of flowers. His brother Leon leaned over his shoulder, and Leon burst out laughing and said, "What is that?" he asked. Ramon could not even answer. He just crumpled up the drawing and threw it across the room. Leon's laughter haunted Ramon. He kept trying to make his drawings look right, but they never did. After many months and many crumpled sheets of paper, Ramon put his pencil down and he said, "I'm done." Marisol, his sister, was watching him. "What do you want?" he snapped. "I was watching you draw," she said, and Ramon sneered. "I'm not drawing. Go away." Marisol ran away, but not before picking up a crumpled sheet of paper. "Hey, come back here with that." And Ramon raced after Marisol, up the hall and into her room. He was about to yell, but he fell silent. He saw his sister's walls, and he stared at the crumpled gallery. "Here's one of my favorites," Marisol said, pointing. "That was supposed to be a vase of flowers," Ramon said, "but it doesn't look like one." "Well, it looks vase-ish," she exclaimed. "Vase-ish." Ramon looked closer. Then he studied all the drawings in Marisol's wall and began to see them in a whole new way. "They do look ish," he said. Ramon felt light and energized. Thinking ishly allowed his ideas to flow freely. He began to draw what he felt, loose lines, quickly springing out without worry. Ramon once again drew, and he drew the world around him, making ish drawings felt wonderful. He filled his journals, tree-ish, house-ish, boat-ish, afternoon-ish, fish-ish, sun-ish. Ramon realized he could draw his feelings too. Peace-ish, silly-ish, excite-ish. His ish art inspired ish writing. He wasn't sure if he was writing poems, but he knew that they were poem-ish. One spring morning, Ramon had a wonderful feeling. It was a feeling that even ish words and ish drawings could not capture it. He decided not to capture it. Instead, he simply savored it. And Ramon lived ishfully ever after. So in the month of October, as a school, we'll be celebrating Ish Day, and we're going to have across the school the students draw in Ish drawing. In November, you're going to receive lessons from your teachers on how to draw a self-portrait. And just like the dot and just like Ish, we're going to publish your work online, showcasing your artistic talents. In January, we're going to ask the question, what does respect look like? We're going to ask you to draw about respect, followed by pride. And know that we're going to consistently look for opportunities, not just in drawing, but in many different ways, to post and publish your work. either in audiences here, beyond your classroom on campus, or online as well. So we look forward to your work, and as Peter Reynolds says, and as Mr. Gonzalez made reference, make your mark, and we'll see where it takes you. Up next, we have a very special student presentation. I'm going to show you a presentation that I was a former principal myself, and I was a principal, one of our students during 6th grade. It was about, let's say 5 years ago, give or take. We were just beginning with using iPads in our school, and one of the very first projects that our students completed, one of our teachers asked their students to create a passion project. And she asked her students to make a presentation about something that they were passionate about. So I want you to do this presentation, then I have some updated news to give you regarding this little presentation.
Hi, my name is Roxana and I am passionate about boxing. I like boxing because it's a very entertaining and fun sport. My sport is very dangerous and aggressive. Many people have serious injuries in boxing. Once a man bit his opponent's ear while boxing. It also gives you a chance to let your anger come out. When you're in the ring, you think of bad moments in your life to release that anger. Boxing also gives you a chance to make more friends, and it's very fun. Boxing was known in ancient Greece and Rome. Instead of boxing with gloves, they just taped their hands. They used to make the fights very aggressive and deadly. The first boxing match took place in 1681 in Britain between a butler and a butcher. John Sholto Douglas made a change on the sport. He made new rules. One of the rules was to use gloves. Once the rules were made, boxing became more popular and were included in the Olympics. They tape their hands because they are tiny bones that can be damaged easily. Taping and wrapping their hands is the most effective way to safeguard against injuries. Two famous boxers are Manny Pacman and Canelo Alvarez. They have inspired me to do this sport. They have always encouraged kids to follow their dreams. I chose this topic because it has very interesting history. This sport is entertaining to watch too. I like going to the gym and train for this sport. It is very good exercise and helps me keep me healthy. Boxing is my life.
So if you recall, I shared this is one of the very first projects when the iPads were just very, very recent. It was the original iPad, and a student completed it. It was a passion project, and I saved it. I saved it, and I saved a few others, but I saved them, and I saved this one in particular because I could really just feel the passion that the student had. And you wouldn't believe it. It surprised me, it surprised her teacher. The student was actually quite shy, very, very shy. And we're just so amazed that she had this passion for boxing. And so the reason I showed it to you was because a couple of months ago, in our Imperial Valley Press, I was reading the local press paper, and there was an article from Roxana Ortiz, who was participating in the Junior Olympics. She was in Texas fighting, and she took the gold medal in boxing. And I know it's a little hard for you to see from there, but in her article from the Valley Press, she talked about her opponent hit very hard, but she had to use her thinking to have a good strategy and be able to beat her opponent and take gold representing Calexico. And she is scheduled, if I'm not mistaken, to represent USA Boxing internationally. And it's now my pleasure to introduce to you and to bring up to the front to share a few words with you, Roxana Ortiz.
Good morning, students, parents, and teachers. My name is Roxana Ortiz, and I am currently a junior at Calexico High School. About 4 years ago, I had the opportunity that helped me realize what my true passion was. It all started when I was in 6th grade at Rockwood Elementary School. I was given an assignment where I had to do a slideshow using the iPad. I was so happy and eager to learn how to use this device and all its features. I never thought this project would lead me to be a junior Olympic boxing champion. Today, you guys are given the same opportunity I had 4 years ago. We can consider ourselves privileged because we're given a chance to explore and develop things that you may not know you're good at. The day my project was presented, it gave me the courage to continue doing what most people think is something only boys do. I continued working hard even though many obstacles came along the way. As I look back, I realized how much confidence that small presentation gave me to pursue one of my goals. It talked about the history of boxing and how the sport evolved. But in reality, it was about letting people know how interested I am in the sport. I want each and every one of you today to think about that one goal you have and see yourself reaching that goal no matter how long it takes. I am now ranked #1 in the nation by USA Boxing and cannot feel any prouder of myself. Remember, it's all about how much effort and time you put into whatever your goal is. Whether it's a sport or an artistic activity, just enjoy every single moment of the road. It's been hard to explain that boxing is not only about punching people, but it's about strategy and self-control. I encourage everyone to go out there and do what you truly love and take advantage of the opportunity you guys are given. Maybe some of you will find your true passion as I did. Use this technology to your advantage, explore, learn, and inform. Let others know what's on your mind and never doubt yourself. My journey has not ended. I have many plans and more adventures ahead of me. Having access to this technology will open doors for many of you as it did for me. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my experience with all of you and continue working toward reaching that goal.
Thank you, Roxanne, for sharing those awesome words. We're about ready to wrap it up, so we have one final message with you. To kick us off into our final message, we're going to get started with a short video.
I used to be a cat. Every day the same. I'd be aloof till lunch, then coldly indifferent after. To me, everything was just, meh. Then it hit me. Why be so cat? Why not be a bit more dog? I mean, look at the world today. It's amazing. Running, amazing. Chasing cars, amazing. Sticks, amazing. Carpe diem. It means grab the frisbee. Maybe we should all be a bit more dog.
Be more dog. Start now at BeMoreDog.com. O2.
I want to share with you just the best line about that video. So in about 10 seconds, you're going to see the best line about that video.
I mean, look at the world today. It's amazing.
Look at the world today. And it says, it's amazing. And it is amazing. And so as we look at today, and we start your journey with iPads in the classroom for every student, I want you to realize that you live in an amazing time with an amazing tool. You have the ability to use the iPad to think and capture your thoughts with apps such as Notes and Poplet. You have the ability to do research through Safari, the opportunity to collaborate with your peers, teachers, with experts locally and globally, to communicate and collaborate through FaceTime. You have the ability to produce through Keynote, Pages, iMovie, Brushes, Coding, Explain Everything, Book Creator, ChatterKits, and many other great tools on your iPad. And then you can have the opportunity to share them. Share them with your peers, with your teacher, through AirDrop, through Apple TV, through your school website, through social media. So many wonderful opportunities to share your work. So I'm going to ask you, in the spirit of being more dog, I'm going to say, don't be shy. Take action and make your mark. Be excited about learning. Be adventurous about learning. push every button, look, search, discover, ask questions, find problems, then find their answers. Let the world know what you're passionate about and make a difference. Because here at Rockwood, pride and respect counts. Guys, I'm super excited for you. Give yourselves a big round of applause. You should be super excited about creativity, about passion, about respect, about pride, about producing, and about sharing. And it all starts in about 10 minutes in your classroom. So I want you to be super focused and take everything that your teachers have to offer you today. And we got a lot to offer you all year round in the years to follow. Have an awesome day. We're going to let your teachers dismiss you. Thank you very much and have a great day, guys.